A fateful encounter. The Zephyrus space station hung silently against the backdrop of the infinite cosmos, a gleaming beacon of human ingenuity amidst the darkness. Within its metal corridors, life thrummed in a delicate balance of order and chaos. At the heart of this intricate dance was Alex Reynolds, a mechanic whose skilled hands kept the station's pulse beating steadily. Alex wiped the sweat from his brow as he finished repairing a malfunctioning airlock. His shift was nearly over, and he looked forward to a cold drink and a bit of rest. Just as he was packing up his tools, a deep rumble shook the station. Alarms blared, red lights flashing in warning. Collision alert, the station's AI announced, its calm voice a stark contrast to the urgency of the situation. Unknown craft has breached the outer perimeter. Damage reported in Sector 7. Alex's heart raced as he sprinted towards the affected area. He knew every inch of the Zephyrus, and Sector 7 housed sensitive research labs. As he navigated the labyrinth of corridors, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was no ordinary accident. The acrid scent of burning metal assaulted his nostrils as he neared the crash site. Smoke billowed from the twisted remains of what appeared to be an escape pod, its once sleek lines crumpled like discarded paper. Alex approached cautiously, his eyes widening as he spotted a figure slumped inside the wreckage. Adrenaline surged through his veins as he pried open the pod's hatch. Inside, an unconscious alien girl lay strapped to her seat, her delicate features marred by gashes and bruises. Alex had encountered many species during his time on the Zephyrus, but he had never seen one quite like her. Iridescent scales shimmered beneath her skin, catching the light like opals. Without hesitation, Alex gathered the girl in his arms and raced towards the med bay. He couldn't explain why, but he felt an overwhelming urge to protect her. As he ran, he whispered reassurances to her still form. "Stay with me," he murmured. "You're going to be okay." The med bay was a flurry of activity as Alex burst through the doors. Dr. Ilara Saros, the station's chief medical officer, took one look at the limp figure in Alex's arms and sprang into action. "Get her on the table," she commanded, her voice sharp with urgency. "Start a full-body scan and prep for emergency surgery." As the medical team worked to stabilize the girl, Alex found himself pacing restlessly. He couldn't tear his eyes away from her fragile form, her chest rising and falling with each shallow breath. Time seemed to stretch into an eternity until Dr. Sorrows finally emerged, her face lined with exhaustion. "She's stable," the doctor said, offering a tired smile. "You got her here just in time. A few more minutes and we might have lost her." Relief washed over Alex like a tidal wave. He sank into a nearby chair, his legs suddenly weak. "What is she?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Sorrows shook her head. "I've never encountered her species before. The scans show some similarities to Andromedans, but there are significant differences. It's like she's a hybrid of some sort." Alex's mind raced with possibilities. Andromedans were known for their advanced technology and secretive nature. What was one of their kind doing in a damaged escape pod? And why did she look so different? As if sensing his thoughts, Dr. Sorrows placed a hand on his shoulder. "She's going to need time to heal, both physically and mentally. She's been through a severe trauma." Alex nodded, a fierce protectiveness swelling in his chest. "I'll watch over her," he said, his voice filled with determination. "She won't be alone." And so, Alex found himself at the alien girl's bedside, watching the steady rise and fall of her chest as she slept. Days turned into weeks, and slowly she began to heal. Alex hardly left her side, reading to her from his favorite books and telling her stories of his adventures on the Zephyrus. When she finally opened her eyes, Alex felt as though he was looking into the depths of the universe itself. Her irises swirled with hues of lavender and silver, like distant galaxies. Where am I?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Alex took her hand gently, offering a reassuring smile. "You're safe," he said. "I'm Alex. I found you in a crashed escape pod. Do you remember what happened? The girl's brow furrowed, her eyes filled with confusion. I don't know. I can't remember anything. Alex's heart ached for her. He couldn't imagine the fear and disorientation she must be feeling. It's okay, he soothed. We'll figure it out together. For now, you should rest. As the girl drifted back to sleep, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that their meeting was no coincidence. The universe had brought them together for a reason, and he silently vowed to protect her no matter what challenges lay ahead. Unbeknownst to Alex, the girl he had rescued was no ordinary alien. She was Zara, the lost princess of the Andromeda Empire, and her arrival on the Zephyrus space station would set in motion a chain of events that would change the course of both their lives and the fate of the galaxy itself. But for now, she was simply a lost soul in need of a friend, and Alex was determined to be that for her. As he watched over her sleeping form, he had no idea of the incredible journey that awaited them or the unbreakable bond they would forge in the face of unimaginable odds. A growing bond. As Zara gradually regained her strength under Alex's watchful eye, the Zephyrus space station buzzed with rumors about the mysterious alien girl. Some whispered that she was a spy sent to infiltrate human society. Others speculated that she was a cosmic prophet destined to lead humanity to enlightenment. But Alex paid no heed to the gossip, focusing instead on helping Zara navigate her new reality. In the weeks that followed, an unbreakable bond blossomed between the unlikely pair. Alex took on the role of mentor and guide, teaching Zara the ways of human culture and technology. He marveled at her insatiable curiosity and quick wit, watching with pride as she absorbed knowledge like a sponge. "You're a natural at this," Alex praised as Zara deftly repaired a malfunctioning android. Her slender fingers moved with a fluid grace, coaxing the delicate circuitry back to life. Zara flashed him a smile, her iridescent eyes sparkling with satisfaction. "I feel like I've done this before," she confessed. "It's like muscle memory, guiding my hands even though my mind can't remember." Alex nodded thoughtfully, his gaze softening with empathy. The human brain is a funny thing, he mused. Even when we can't access specific memories, our experiences shape who we are. They're a part of us, woven into the fabric of our being. As the days turned into weeks, Zara's presence on the Zephyrus became as natural as the stars themselves. She worked alongside Alex, her nimble mind and uncanny abilities proving invaluable in maintaining the station's complex systems. The crew began to see her not as an outsider, but as one of their own, a valued member of their cosmic family. But even as Zara thrived in her new life, questions about her past lingered like shadows at the edges of her consciousness. In quiet moments, Alex would find her staring out at the infinite expanse of space, her eyes distant and haunted. "I feel like I'm missing a part of myself," she confessed one evening as they sat in the observation deck, the galaxy stretching out before them like a glittering tapestry. "Like there's a hole in my heart that I can't fill." Alex reached out, his hand finding hers in a gesture of comfort. "I know it's hard," he said softly, "but sometimes a family we find is just as important as the one we're born into. You have a place here, Zara. With me, with the crew. We'll help you find the answers you seek." Zara leaned into his touch, her scales shimmering in the starlight. "I don't know what I'd do without you, Alex," she whispered. "You've given me a home when I had nothing." Alex's heart swelled with an emotion he couldn't quite name. It was more than affection, more than the bond of friendship. It was a fierce, unshakable love, the love of a father for his daughter. Unbeknownst to them both, the threads of destiny were weaving an intricate web around Zara. In the darkest reaches of the galaxy, forces were stirring, forces that sought to unravel the very fabric of the universe. And at the center of it all was a lost princess, unaware of the power that lay dormant within her. For Zara was no ordinary alien, but the rightful heir to the Andromeda Empire, a kingdom that spanned 1,000 worlds and held the key to unlocking the secrets of the cosmos. And as she and Alex navigated the challenges of their interstellar life, little did they know that they were hurtling towards a fate that would test the very limits of their bond. But for now, they had each other, a human father and an alien daughter, forging an unbreakable connection amidst the stars. And as they looked out at the vast expanse of the universe, they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. As Zara's powers began to manifest in subtle ways, a flicker of energy here, a moment of precognition there, Alex knew that their journey was only just beginning. The lost princess and her human guardian were about to embark on a quest that would change the course of the galaxy, and the strength of their love would be the light that guided them through the darkness. Shadows of the past. Beneath the glittering facade of the Zephyrus space station, a sinister undercurrent began to emerge. Strange occurrences plagued the crew. Whispered conversations cut short when Alex or Zara entered a room, equipment malfunctioning in inexplicable ways, and an unsettling sense of being watched by unseen eyes. At first, Alex tried to dismiss the incidents as coincidences, but as they grew more frequent and more alarming, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. Late one night, as he pored over station logs in search of answers, a message flickered across his screen, a single line of text that sent a chill down his spine. The lost princess must be found. Alex's mind raced with questions. Who was this lost princess? And what did she have to do with Zara? He thought back to the rumors that had circulated when she first arrived, whispers of a prophecy, of a cosmic savior destined to bring balance to the galaxy. Could there be truth to those ancient tales? As Alex dug deeper, he uncovered a web of conspiracy that threatened to unravel everything he thought he knew. Hidden within the station's archives were fragments of a story long forgotten, a story of a powerful empire, a dynasty of psychic warriors, and a battle for the fate of the universe itself. At the center of it all was the Andromeda Empire and its ruling family, blessed with abilities beyond human understanding. For generations, they had maintained peace across the galaxy, their psionic powers a force for unity and enlightenment. But as their influence grew, so too did the darkness that sought to consume them. A faction known as the Shadow Collective, led by a rogue Andromedan named Zeph, sought to overthrow the royal family and claim the empire for themselves. In a brutal coup, they stormed the palace, slaughtering all in their path. But amidst the chaos, a single escape pod jettisoned into space, carrying the last hope of the Andromedan people, Princess Zara, the sole survivor of the royal bloodline. As Alex pieced together the fragments of the story, a sickening realization dawned on him. The Shadow Collective was here, on the Zephyrus, and they were closing in on Zara. The strange occurrences, the whispered conversations, it was all part of their plan to capture the lost princess and extinguish the last ember of hope in the galaxy. But even as the truth of Zara's identity crashed over him like a tidal wave, Alex knew one thing with unshakable certainty: he would do whatever it took to protect her. She was more than just a lost princess, more than a pawn in a cosmic game of chess. She was his daughter, the light of his life, and he would fight for her until his last breath. As if sensing the growing danger, Zara's powers began to awaken in earnest. Her dreams were haunted by visions of a forgotten past, of a birthright stolen and a destiny unfulfilled. She saw glimpses of her parents, their faces etched with love and sorrow, and heard their final whispered words: "Find the celestial shard, my darling. It will guide you home." Alex knew that time was running out. The Shadow Collective was closing in, and soon even the Zephyrus would no longer be safe. They had to leave, to find the celestial shard and unlock the secrets of Zara's past before it was too late. Under the cover of darkness, Alex and Zara made their escape, slipping away from the station in a stolen shuttle. As they watched the Zephyrus fade into the distance, Alex felt a pang of sorrow for the life they were leaving behind. But he knew that this was just the beginning of their journey, a journey that would test the very limits of their bond and the strength of their love. With the Shadow Collective hot on their heels and the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance, Alex and Zara set out to unravel the mysteries of the past and claim Zara's rightful place as the savior of the Andromedan people. The road ahead was fraught with danger, but they knew that as long as they had each other, There was no force in the universe that could stand in their way. And so the lost princess and her human father ventured into the unknown, guided by the light of the stars and the unbreakable bond that had brought them together. Little did they know that their journey would be one for the ages, a tale of love, sacrifice, and the indomitable power of the human spirit. The revelation. As Alex and Zara navigated the treacherous expanse of space, their stolen shuttle a fragile haven amidst the darkness, they found themselves drawn to a remote, uncharted planet known only as EOS 17. It was here, according to the whispers of ancient prophecy, that the celestial shard was hidden, a relic of immense power that held the key to unlocking Zara's true potential. But as they descended through the planet's atmosphere, their shuttle was caught in a sudden violent storm. Lightning crackled across the viewscreen, and the small craft shuddered and bucked like a wild beast. Despite Alex's desperate attempts to regain control, they hurtled towards the ground in a dizzying spiral of smoke and flame. When Alex came to, he found himself lying in a field of iridescent flowers, their petals pulsing with an otherworldly light. Beside him, Zara was already on her feet, her eyes wide with wonder and recognition. "I know this place," she breathed. "I've seen it in my dreams." As if in response to her words, a figure emerged from the shimmering mist, a woman with hair the color of starlight and eyes that glowed with an ancient wisdom. She introduced herself as Lyra, a member of the Andromedan Resistance and a sworn enemy of the Shadow Collective. "I've been waiting for you, Princess Zara," Lyra said, her voice soft and melodic. "The celestial shard called to you, just as it has called to generations of your ancestors." And so, beneath the shimmering aurora of EOS 17, Lyra revealed the truth of Zara's heritage. She was the last of the Andromedan royal line, imbued with psychic powers beyond human understanding. The celestial shard was her birthright, a conduit for the ancient energies that flowed through the very fabric of the universe. But the Shadow Collective, led by the nefarious Zeph, sought to claim the shard for themselves. With its power, they would enslave the galaxy and plunge the universe into an age of darkness and despair. "You are the only one who can stop them, Princess Zara," Lyra said, her eyes blazing with intensity. "The fate of billions rests on your shoulders." For Alex, the revelation of Zara's true identity was a shock that rocked him to his core. He had always known that she was special, but their bond was forged in the fires of destiny itself. But to learn that she was a princess, a savior foretold in the stars themselves, it was almost too much to comprehend. And yet, as he looked at Zara, he saw not a royal heir or a cosmic warrior, but the girl he had raised as his own, the brilliant, compassionate, fiercely determined young woman who had captured his heart from the moment he first laid eyes on her. "I don't care if you're a princess or a pauper," Alex said, his voice rough with emotion. "You're my daughter, Zara, and I will stand by your side until the end of time itself." Zara's eyes shimmered with tears as she embraced Alex, their bond stronger than ever in the face of the challenges that lay ahead. Together, they set out to master the power of the celestial shard and gather allies to their cause. Under Lyra's guidance, Zara learned to wield her psychic abilities with astonishing skill and precision. She could move objects with her mind, shield herself and others from harm, and even glimpse fragments of the future in her dreams. Alex, too, found a new sense of purpose in the fight against the Shadow Collective. He used his skills as a mechanic to create weapons and defenses unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, his inventions powered by the same cosmic energies that flowed through Zara's veins. As word of the lost princess and her human father spread throughout the stars, other rebels and outcasts flocked to their banner. There was Zane, the enigmatic warrior with a past shrouded in mystery, and Kira, the genius hacker who could infiltrate even the most secure computer systems with a flick of her wrist. Together, this unlikely band of heroes set out to bring down the Shadow Collective and restore balance to the galaxy. They raided enemy outposts, sabotaged supply lines, and rallied the oppressed masses to rise up against their overlords. But even as they grew stronger and more determined with each passing day, Alex knew that their greatest challenge still lay ahead. Zeph, the mastermind behind the Shadow Collective, would not rest until he had claimed the celestial shard for himself and crushed all who opposed him. As Alex looked out at the stars, he knew that the fate of the galaxy would be decided in one final epic battle, and he knew, with a certainty that surpassed all doubt, that he would fight to his last breath to protect Zara and the love they shared, a love that had transcended the boundaries of space and time itself. For in the end, it was not the power of the celestial shard or the strength of their allies that would decide the course of history, but the unbreakable bond between a father and his daughter, a bond forged in the heart of the cosmos and destined to shine forever among the stars. The reckoning. As the shadow of Zeph's empire loomed ever larger across the galaxy, Alex and Zara knew that the time had come to take the fight to the heart of the enemy's power. With the celestial shard pulsing with ancient energy and their allies gathered from the far corners of the universe, they set their sights on the gleaming towers of the Shadow Collective's capital world, a planet known only as Nemesis Prime. But even as they laid their plans and steeled their resolve, a new threat emerged from the depths of space. A sleeper agent, long hidden within the ranks of the Resistance, revealed himself in a moment of shocking betrayal. With a single devastating blow, he shattered the rebels' defenses and scattered their forces to the winds. In the chaos of the attack, Alex and Zara found themselves separated from their allies, forced to flee for their lives through the twisting corridors of an abandoned space station. As they raced against time to reunite with their companions, they were confronted by a figure from Zara's past, a ghost given flesh, and a reminder of the sacrifices that had brought them to this fateful moment. "You cannot escape your destiny, Princess Zara," the spectre hissed, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly malice. "The Shadow Collective will rise, and the galaxy will be remade in Zeph's image." But Zara, her powers now fully awakened and her spirit unbroken, stood tall in the face of her adversary. "You're wrong," she said, her voice ringing with conviction. "My destiny is my own to shape, and I choose to fight for the light." With a burst of psychic energy that shook the very foundations of the station, Zara unleashed the full might of the celestial shard. The spectre was consumed in a blaze of searing light, his final screams echoing through the void as he was banished back to the realm of shadow. Reunited at last, Alex and Zara gathered their allies and set course for Nemesis Prime. They knew that the odds were stacked against them, that Zeph's forces outnumbered them 1,000 to 1. But they also knew that they had something the Shadow Collective could never possess: the unbreakable bonds of love and loyalty, and the courage to stand against the darkness no matter the cost. As they made their final approach to the planet's surface, Alex took Zara's hand in his own, his eyes shining with pride and determination. "Whatever happens," he said softly, "I want you to know that being your father has been the greatest joy of my life. And I believe in you, Zara. I always have, and I always will." Zara smiled through her tears, her heart swelling with love and gratitude. "Thank you, Dad," she whispered, "for everything." Together, they led the charge against Zeph's citadel, their weapons blazing and their spirits indomitable. They fought their way through legions of shadow soldiers and twisted abominations, their every step guided by the unwavering light of the celestial shard. And when at last they stood before Zeph himself, the mastermind behind the Shadow Collective's reign of terror, Zara faced him not as a lost princess or a cosmic savior, but as a daughter fighting for the family she had found among the stars. "Your reign ends here, Zeph," she declared, her voice thundering with the power of 1,000 suns. "The galaxy will be free, and the light will prevail." In a battle that shook the very foundations of the universe, Zara and Zeph clashed in a dazzling display of psychic might and ancient sorcery. But even as Zeph unleashed a full fury of his dark powers, he found himself outmatched by the sheer, indomitable will of the young woman who stood against him. With a final, desperate cry, Zeph fell to his knees, his empire crumbling around him like a house of cards. And as the celestial shard flared with triumphant light, Zara knew that the long nightmare of the Shadow Collective's reign had finally come to an end. But even in that moment of victory, as the survivors of the resistance erupted in cheers and tears of joy, Zara knew that her journey was far from over. For the celestial shard, its purpose now fulfilled, had begun to pulse with a strange, insistent rhythm, a call that echoed from the farthest reaches of the galaxy, and a summons that could not be denied. As Alex and Zara exchanged a look of wonder and trepidation, they knew that the next chapter of their story was about to unfold, a chapter that would take them beyond the borders of the known universe and into realms undreamed of by mortal minds. But whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them as they always had, together as father and daughter, bound by a love that had transcended the very stars themselves. And in the end, that love would be their greatest strength and the key to unlocking the secrets of the cosmos itself. A new dawn, with the Shadow Collective vanquished and the galaxy freed from Zeth's iron grip. A new era of peace and prosperity dawned across the stars. On planet after planet, the people of the Andromedan Empire emerged from the shadows, their eyes blinking in the unaccustomed light of hope and freedom. And at the center of it all stood Zara, the lost princess who had become a legend in her own time. With the celestial shard as her guide and the love of her adoptive father as her strength, she took her rightful place as the ruler of her people, a beacon of wisdom, compassion, and courage that would shine for generations to come. But even as she assumed the mantle of leadership, Zara knew that her work was far from finished. The celestial shard, its power now fully awakened, had begun to whisper of a greater destiny that awaited her, a fate that would take her beyond the borders of the Andromedan Empire and into the uncharted reaches of the cosmos itself. And so, with Alex at her side and a team of her most trusted allies at her back, Zara set out on a new adventure, a quest to discover the true purpose of the celestial shard and to unravel the mysteries that lay at the very heart of the universe. Their journey took them to worlds both strange and wondrous, from the shimmering crystal caves of Lumina to the haunted ruins of Shadowfall. They encountered beings of unimaginable power and beauty and faced challenges that tested the very limits of their courage and resolve. Through it all, the bond between Zara and Alex only grew stronger, their love and trust in each other a guiding light that never wavered. And as they delved deeper into the secrets of the cosmos, they began to uncover a truth that would change everything they thought they knew about themselves and the universe they inhabited. For the celestial shard, they learned, was more than just a relic of ancient power. It was a key to unlocking the very fabric of reality itself. And within its crystalline depths lay the answers to questions that had haunted the minds of sages and philosophers for eons: the nature of existence, the purpose of life, and the ultimate fate of the cosmos. As Zara and Alex stood on the precipice of this ultimate revelation, they knew that the choices they made in the coming moments would shape the destiny of the galaxy for all time. And in that moment, they both understood the true meaning of the bond they shared, a love that transcended the boundaries of space and time, and a connection that would endure long after the stars themselves had faded into memory. With the celestial shard pulsing with an inner radiance that seemed to fill the entire universe, Zara and Alex made their choice. They would use the power of the shard not for themselves, but for the greater good of all beings, to heal the wounds of the past, to forge a new future of unity and understanding, and to light the way for generations yet to come. And as they took their first steps into this brave new world, they did so hand in hand, their hearts beating as one and their spirits soaring with the promise of a love that would never die. For in the end, the true power of the celestial shard lay not in its ability to reshape the fabric of the universe, but in the way it had brought two souls together across the vast expanse of space and time. A human father and an alien daughter, bound by a love that would endure for all eternity, and destined to shine as a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who followed in their footsteps. As Zara took her place on the throne of the Andromedan Empire, with Alex at her side as her most trusted advisor and confidant, she knew that their adventure was only just beginning. There would be new challenges to face, new mysteries to unravel, and new wonders to discover in the vast and infinite reaches of the cosmos. But whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, a family forged in the heart of the universe, and a love that would light the way for all the ages to come. And so, the legend of the lost princess and her human father spread across the stars, a tale of hope and courage that would endure long after they had passed into the realm of myth and memory. For in the end, their story was not just their own, but a testament to the unbreakable bond of love that connects us all, a love that knows no bounds, and a light that will guide us home no matter how far we may wander.